Hey y'all, I'm going to be doing a Skylanders playthrough on my Wii, but before we get into that, I think we all want a fan fiction from Skylanders, and this one is called The Supercharged Retreat. Alright, let's get started. I'll read it out loud to my goodest fans. Alright, here we go. Spitfire was bored. He'd been bored since Chaos's last capture. There were still skirmishes here and there. Terrafin and Trigger Happy were dealing with one right now. But it wasn't the same. They weren't any calls to adventure that required him to assemble a group and do something that he really missed, his team. He saw them all, of course, and occasionally go on a drive with them. One or two, but they were never truly back together. It felt as if the Superchargers team had apart. Usually when he was bored, Spitfire would come up with some impossible challenge for Stormblade to try out, but she was on a mission, and Stealth Elf and Roller Brawl, the purple bird, had also been feeling completely bored. So when Elf and Vampire decided to team up on their personal missions, Stormblade practically begged them to let her. Dive Clops was spending time catching up with his brother Eyebrow, probably back in his chemistry lab. Spitfire stopped interrupted as he noticed a sharp Mabu with a green jacket and book-filled backpack walked by. "Hey, Hugo," Spitfire called out to the Mabu. Oh, hi, Spitfire. What can I do for you?" The Mabu rubbed his eye under his glasses. "I was wondering if you've seen Nightfall anywhere," Spitfire asked. Let me think." Hugo rubbed his eye again, and Spitfire wondered if the overloaded Mabu got much sleep. Or maybe he was just allergic to sheep dander? "That's right," Hugo said. "I saw her and Camo heading down to the beach. Go. Hugo?" Following Hugo's advice, the Flame Spirit headed down to the beach. Nightfall was there all right, along with an unfortunate Spyro and sniggering Camo. Seriously, spinning despite snoozing in the shade of a tree. The purple dragon's wings were covered in pink glitter, and the tips glued to his face was a pair of bushy eyebrows and a mustache. "It was Camo's idea," Nightfall said defensively. "You helped fair and square," Camo said. The lively life dragon then bounced off, no longer able to control his laughter. "I figured he'd explode if one of his pumpkins..." "What? Sooner or later," Nightfall said. "So I take it you've been pretty bored also?" Spitfire asked her. Nightfall sat down on a rock. "Yeah, it's pretty dull lately. I thought about taking the Sea Shadow out to explore some, but she trailed off and threw a rock into the water." "Too lonely," Spitfire guessed. She nodded. "Back in Fog Shadow, I don't really have much in the way of friends, so exploring the ocean caverns was a relief for my dull life." She tossed another stone. "I know how you feel," he said. "Erg." I felt her next rock a little harder. "Why can't Chaos just break loose or something?" Loose spelled Loos. Again or something. "Literally or figuratively?" Spitfire asked. She shrugged. "Both, I guess." She tossed another rock. "Hey, I heard that Flynn challenged the boys to a race again. Want to go see?" She asked, getting up. Lately, Flynn had been challenging Astroblast, Jetvac, and Thrillipede to friendly air races to prove who was the best pilot in Skylanders. "Not really," he said. "You know what's going to happen. One of the Superchargers is going to win, and Flynn will come in last. Then Flynn is going to admit he let him win. Then everyone will roll their eyes and think, yeah, right. Flynn will propose an oath or challenge." Yeah, you're right. That pretty much sums it up. Nightfall are back, she said, pointing in the distance, shaped of Sky Slicer and Stealth Stinger. Let's go see if they found anything interesting, Spitfire added. Okay, I'm gonna have a quick sip break. Hmm. Well, that was pointless, Stealth Elf said as she hopped out of the Stealth Stinger. So, I take it you didn't learn anything then? Nightfall asked as she and Spitfire walked up to the parking vehicles. Nope, Roller Brawl said as she climbed out of her tomb buggy. We did too, Stormblade said, ever enthusiastic. We learned that not only Goliath grow dumb, they're totally flammable too. Roller Brawl sniggered. That wasn't my fault. This is too long. Well, at least we got to do something today, Spitfire offered. Yeah, still wouldn't get anywhere, Stealth Elf said. Any news on the Nightshade problem? No, I'd completely forgotten about that, Spitfire said. A few months ago, the infamous dark thief known as Nightshade had escaped his traptanium cell. The entire trap team had been on high alert, and it was like the cat had simply vanished. Nothing had been stolen, no one had seen a trace of him. Some believed he was tired of being caught, so he decided to hide for a while. Spitfire didn't buy it, and neither did Stealth Elf. Probably means no news to be heard, she said. Probably, Spitfire agreed. He got an idea. Well, I'll see you around soon. Where are you going? Stormblade asked. I've got something I need to ask Eon, he answered simply. As he drew closer to the game, Spitfire's speed increased. Why hadn't he thought of this before? He drew to the steps and entered. He found Eon's spirit in the library. Through it looked agonizingly long time to do so. Spitfire, Eon exclaimed. He beckoned the flame spirit in. Something troubling you? Spitfire took a seat on the couch closest to Master Eon. It's my team, he said. Ever felt like they've been drifting apart? Ah, yes, Eon said knowingly. That happens from time to time. Oddly enough, more often in places of peace than times of conflict. Huh? I would get permission to bring the team back together with some sort of event, like a retreat, Spitfire continued. A retreat, Eon was thoughtful for a moment. Yes, I do think that would be beneficial for your team. And yours isn't the only one who could use a retreat, to be honest. Some of the swappers have been at each other's thoughts lately, literally in Night Shift's case. So do I have your permission, Spitfire, in whatever? Yes, you do, Spitfire. Just the 18 of you? Just 18. Very well, I will alert Hugo to make preparations for Eon. It's my pleasure, Spitfire. I'm glad to see you take so much care in your team. Spitfire bowed his head to the old to deliver the news. That was chat, but I'm done for today because that's good. I'll do a playthrough tomorrow.